Dark apartments, twisting plots, morally grey characters, and that sleek, classy sheen that only movies from the 90s and early 2000s had. You know the vibe, and if you don't, you're in for a ride. Today we're talking about why thrillers from the 90s and early 2000s were just better and we kinda need them back. Let me take you back to a time before smartphones, streaming algorithms, and before everything had to have a shared cinematic universe. The 90s and early 2000s really were a golden era for adult-orientated, mid-budget thrillers. These films were stylish, character-driven, and full of moral ambiguity. Thrillers back then weren't trying to set up sequels and sequels, they were trying to create like a perfect Friday night 90-minute film that you'd go see in the cinema. One film, one story, and probably some kind of twist that left your jaw on the floor. Let's start with one of my personal favourites, A Perfect Murder from 1998. This film starred Michael Douglas, Gwyneth Paltrow and Viggo Mortensen. It was loosely based on Hitchcock's Dial M for Murder. This film was an absolute masterclass in cold, calculated tension. The plot is deceptively simple. A wealthy man discovers his wife's cheating and hires her lover to kill her. But the execution, razor sharp. It's about power, manipulation and control, and every shot looks like it belongs in a luxury fashion catalogue. What makes A Perfect Murder so brilliant isn't just the twisty plot, it's the characters. Everyone is hiding something, and no one's entirely innocent. It's not about who's good or who's bad, it's about who's smarter. And I love those kind of thrillers that actually make you think. This one's really hard to put my finger on, but these films had a really similar kind of vibe. Think glassy penthouses, foggy docks, fancy restaurants hiding dangerous secrets. Lighting was moody but elegant. The soundtracks were haunting but never overbearing. I feel like every film from that era had one scene where someone was driving in a car with forest on either side of the road with that specific type of soundtrack. Even the settings themselves felt like characters. Places you'd love to go and visit, but you probably wouldn't want to live there. Another gem, and staying on the Michael Douglas theme, is The Game from 1997. What an absolute film. I mentioned Michael Douglas again because he really did own this genre for a period of time. A rich man is thrown into a mysterious, mind-bending game by his brother. What starts as a prank spirals into paranoia and a psychological unravelling. Then you've got Primal Fear from 1996, another absolute banger. Edward Norton's breakout performance, a courtroom thriller with a twist that still punches you in the gut, no matter how many times you've seen it. And let's not forget The Talented Mr. Ripley. Beautifully shot, totally unnerving. It's not just about murder, it's about envy, identity, and how far someone will go to become someone else. What all these films have in common is smart writing, but also just original ideas, not existing IP or a rehash of something else. Just a cool idea made into a 90-minute film that people can go and see on a Friday night. Dialogue that simmers, plots that build like a pressure cooker, and characters who are complex, flawed, and fascinating. These movies ask questions like, how well do you really know the people that are living next door to you? The people that are closest to you? What would you do if you were pushed to the edge? They weren't afraid to let things breathe, to build tension slowly, to make you uncomfortable. So what happened? Well, a lot really. Studios started chasing blockbusters. Thrillers became kind of low-budget streaming content or prestige TV. Those glossy, grown-up thrillers, they kind of just vanished. But the good news is, they're all still there just waiting to be rediscovered, or discovered by most people. So pour yourself a drink, turn down the lights, and get lost in a really imperfect thriller, for all the right reasons. If you like this video, please consider subscribing, it'd help me out massively. And also give it a like, and also comment below what's your favourite 90s or 2000s thriller, and I'll see you in the next one.